Okay, so good afternoon, class. I think everyone is present. May I ask Mary Rose if um, there is absent for today?
For today, sir.
Okay, so I guess everyone is present. So may I ask if I am audible? Madungog ra ba ko, class?
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Madungog ra, sir.
Okay, thank you for that, Ma'am Cindy. Before we are going to proceed to our topic, I will give you some motivation para po nga our class is not boring, no? So, me, I can share my screen. May I know if my screen is visible to your screen now, class?
Yes po, sir.
So, our game for today or have some activity which is guess me. Mechanics of this game is you are just going um, to identify the picture if it is a biotic, biotic or abiotic. So kabalo mo unsa ng biotic or abiotic class? May I ask Cindy if what is a biotic factors? Ma'am Cindy?
Biotic factors, sir, are animals, birds, plants. Biotic means living organism, sir.
Okay, so how about abiotic?
Abiotic, sir, is non-living.
Correct. So now I will show you pictures, then you are just going to identify if this is a biotic or biotic. So the first is this. Wow. So you can turn on your microphone if you are going to answer. So this is an example of what factor?
Biotic, sir.
Thank you. So Ma'am Cindy, so this is biotic. So how about this moon? This rotation of the moon.
Abiotic, sir.
Oh, correct. So this is abiotic. So the next one,
Biotic, sir.
correct. Very good, class. So how about this sun?
Abiotic.
Very good.
Biotic.
Our topic for today is which relates to the living organisms and their relationship with each other. So our topic for today is all about the symbiotic relationship. So may I ask if you know about symbiotic relationship? So I think no no everyone is shy to share their answer. So for today's discussion, our objectives is we are going to describe the ecological relationship between species that exist in an ecosystem. So the second one is to develop awareness on the importance of interaction and connection of each organisms in an ecosystem. The last one is you are going to create a short video showing a certain symbiotic relationship. So now let's define what is a symbiotic relationship. So this symbiotic relationship is also called as what? So as you can see in the screen, so this is symbiosis. So it is the relationship between two different individual species that live together in a close relationship. So this is living together in the environment. So the word symbiosis can be break down into two parts to determine its meaning. So from the word sim, which means together. So the bio means life. So there are three types, or in the other book they have five types. So for today's discussion, we are just going to cover three types of symbiotic relationship. So for the first one is the mutualism. So may I ask Mameros what is mutualism? Mameros?
I think mutualism talks about uh, being dependent with each other. Okay.
Okay, thank you for that, Ma'am Merrill. So, how about commensalism, Ma'am Cindy?
I think interaction, sir, of co-organism which they benefits from each other, sir.
Okay, so let's find out later if you your answer is correct. So how about parasitism?
I think parasitism is a relationship wherein one party is a host or a one and one party is the prey or the dependent. One will be dependent and one will be independent, I think.
Okay, thank you for that, ma'am. So now let's find out if your answer is correct. So what is mutualism? So mutualism is, yes, the relationship where both organisms benefit from each other. So a plus and a plus. So think of a normal friendship where both friends gain something from the friendship. It is an example of mutualism. So you have mutual benefits from each other. So the main example or the first example I have presented is this: bees and the hummingbirds gather nectar and spread pollen. Yes. So why is it a mutualism? So both the flower and this organism, this hummingbird and this bees, are benefited from each other. The next example is this. Oh, I think you have the picture of your classmate here. So I'm just joking. So the this is a birds and mammals eat berries and fruits while the plant benefits from the dispersal of its seeds. So when this organism is going to eat this fruit, then ani or siyang feces sa this organism, then mo to siya so ma-transfer ang kanang seeds in this plant so to another kwan. So dili mawala ang species ani nga plant. So the next example of mutualism is this picture. So the oxbird gets rid of the parasite on the antelope and allows the oxbird to have a meal. So this oxbird there, no? So yani food ang kaning nasa parasite nga nasa kaning sa antelope. Then the antelope will also benefit kay ang kaning parasite nga nasa dunggan is mawala. Then the food that came from the ears of this antelope will be eaten by the oxbird. So they both benefit from each other. So that is mutualism. So the next one is the commensalism. So this commensalism is that ang isa maka-benefit without harming the other one. So think again of a friendship where one of the friends benefits while the other doesn't change. Another example in the environment, which is this fish. So this clownfish get their protection from the sea anemone, and the anemone is unaffected. The other example is this cattle steer up insects as they eat grass, and the egrets hang around and eat insects. The example is shark eats, and the remora gets the scraps left by the shark. So the leftover of the shark will going to eat by the remora without harming the shark. So that is an example of commensalism. The next one is we're going to tackle is parasitism. Parasitism is this the one species is going to harm the other. So the host or so an organism on which a parasite lives. Think again of a friendship where you might feel used by your friend. So gigamit ra ka sa imong friend. So, 'di ba? Ang isa maka-benefit being affected. So, example of this is this: ticks and fleas that live in a host animals fur bite the animals and drink its blood are parasites. So for example, the kuto sa imong buhok, then the kuto is going to affect then the koto is going to benefited by the blood that came from your scalp. The next one is the tapeworm attaches itself to the intestines of a dog, and the tapeworm takes nutrients from the dog. So, ano siya? An example of parasitism. So, ang tapeworm attaches sa intestines of the dog, then the dog will get affected. Then, dayon, ang kaning tapeworm will benefit. Then, yung i-harm ang katong dog. So, next one is insects such as mosquitoes feeding on a host are parasites. So, for example, ikaw, you are going to bite by a mosquito, then you are being affected, then the mosquito is being benefited from the blood that came from you. So that is an example of parasitism. So in summary, The symbiosis are the relationship between two different individual species that live together in a closed environment. And there are three types of symbiotic relationship. The mutualism, which is they benefited from each other. The commensalism is ang isa is maka-benefit without harming the other. So the parasitism is going to the one organism is going to benefit, then iyang i-harm ang isa ka organism. So now, class, any questions about my discussion?
None,
None.
sir.
If you do not have a question, then I will going to ask Ma'am Cindy.
Sir, mutualism, sir, is species or organism, sir.
Okay, I think she has a problem with her audio. Or hello, class, madungog pa ba ko?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as what I have said a while ago, so mutualism is they benefit from each other. So, Ma'am Mary Rose, what is commensalism again?
The ever word of mutualism is the one party is will be able to benefit the relationship while the other one is doesn't benefit but he is not harmed.
Okay, thank you for that, Ma'am Mary Rose. So, how about parasitism? Ma'am Jane?
Is it has a relationship between the two things in which some, but it depends on.
Okay, thank you for that, Ma'am Jane. Now let's proceed. So, able for you class to understand more. So I have her situation. We are you going to identify if it is mutualism, commensalism, or parasitism. Algae and fungi or the lichen. Alga gets water and nutrients from the fungus, and the fungus gets food from the algae. So what is this symbiotic relationship, Ma'am Mary Rose?
Mutualism, sir.
Mutualism. Okay, that's correct. So this situation, the barnacles adhering to the skin of a whale. So kaning barnacles no na siya sa skin sa whale.
Parasitism, sir.
So how about this tapeworm or hookworms living in a host gut? Okay, thank you for that, Ma'am Jane. So how about this? The corals get food and the algae are protected. Okay, anyone from the class?
Mutualism, sir.
Okay, that is mutualism. Correct. So how about this? Many herbivores such as cows, sheep, deer, horses, and rabbits depend on bacteria that live in their stomach to break down the plant material. What is this? Anyone of the class?
Parasitism.
Parasitism. So, so I think, Mama Rose, this is not a parasitism, which because the bacteria is helps the breaking down the plant material inside of this herbivore. So this is not a parasitism because the bacteria helps the herbivores. Then the bacteria makabenefit po siya without harming the cow. So this is an example of a mutualism. Yes.
Okay,
So
sir.
I think that's also for your assignment. You are going to create a 2 to 3 minute video showing a certain symbiotic relationship and submit it to the Google Classroom. I think that's all for today. So I hope that you have learned something from the class. Then next meeting, please prepare for a short quiz. Thank you for listening, and may I request to turn on your cameras to have a documentation. So that's all for today, class. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.